everyone, my name is Liu Qi and my metric number is 8074449. My topic is we should restrict facial recognition in public places. So imagine walking down the street, your face gets scanned, stored and tracked, all without your permission. This is not science fiction, it is happening today. A well-known example is Robert Williams. In 2020, he was arrested in front of his wife and two daughters after facial recognition software wrongly identified him as a shoplifting suspect. He spent nearly 30 hours in jail before police admitted they had arrested the wrong person. Today, facial recognition technology is already used in airports, schools, shopping centers, and by law enforcement agencies. According to the Georgetown Law Center on Privacy and Technology in 2023, police agencies accessed millions of facial images, including many belonging to people who have never committed a crime. Although facial recognition may improve public safety, the evidence clearly shows that it should be more strictly restricted in public places. Why? Because it threatens privacy, normalizes mass surveillance, and still makes serious mistakes that can harm innocent people. Today, I will explain these three dangers before presenting these three practical solutions. So why should we concern about facial recognition? The answer begins with one of our most fundamental human rights, our right to privacy. So let's start there. Facial recognition threatens personal privacy. Unlike ordinary security camera, facial recognition identifies who you are, tracks where you go, and stores biometric information. According to the AI Now Institute 2023, biometric surveillance continues to expand rapidly, often without people's knowledge or meaningful consent. Unlike a password or a credit card, your face cannot simply be placed once your biometric information is stolen. According to IBM's Cost of Data Research Breach Report 2024, the average global cost of the data breach reached $4.88 billion, highlighting the growing value of sensitive personal information. However, privacy is not the beginning. When constant monitoring becomes part of every life, something even more important begins to disappear: our freedom to act without fear. Let's look at what they matter. Constant surveillance changes people's behavior. According to the U.S. Government Accountability Office in 2023, the federal government's use of facial recognition continues to explain why oversight remains consistent. The Electronic Frontier Foundation in 2024 also warns that facial recognition discourages people from exercising basic freedoms such as peaceful protests and free expression because they fear being monitored. According to Pew Research Center in 2023, around even 7 in 10 Americans are concerned about government's use of facial recognition technology, with a similar proportion are concerned about its use by private companies. Some people argue that this is simply the price of greater security. However, arguments assume facial recognition is highly accurate. Unfortunately, the evidence tells a different story. Third, facial recognition still makes serious mistakes. Although many people believe facial recognition is nearly perfect, the evidence says otherwise. According to the National Institute of Standards and Technology's 2024 face recognition evidence test, system accuracy still very depends on image quality, learning conditions, environmental factors, demographic characteristics, and the algorithm being used. The report also found that some algorithms produce false positive rates dozens or even hundreds of times higher for certain demographic groups, demonstrating why independence remains essential. These are not simply technical errors, they are real human consequences. Robert Williams spent nearly 20 hours in jail because officers trust facial recognition more than proper police investigation. Technology should support human judgment, not replace it. Clearly, these risks are too serious to ignore. Fortunately, they are not impossible to solve. So what should we do? There are three solutions. The solution one is require warrants. Police should not be allowed to scan crowds whenever they choose. Just as officers need a warrant before searching someone's home, they should also obtain justifiable approval before using facial recognition in public. A warrant provides an important legal safeguard. However, legal permission alone is not enough. Facial recognition must also be accurate, fair, and accountable. Solution 2 is require independent testing and automated detection. Every facial recognition system should be independently tested. If it falls fairness or accuracy standard, it should not be deployed. Facial image collected without a criminal investigation should also be automatically deleted after the limit period. According to R&D Corporation 2022, transparency and accountability improve public trust in several technologies. However, technical standards alone cannot solve a nationwide problem. The solution 3 passed comprehensive federal legislation. The United States still has no single national law regulating facial recognition technology. The proper facial recognition and biometric technology monitoring act should establish stronger limits on government use while allowing carefully defined expressions. According to Pew Research Center 2023, many Americans support stronger government oversight of facial recognition technology. The public is ready. Now lawmakers must act. If we implement this resolution, everyone have benefit. First, fewer innocent people will be wrongly investigated or arrested because decisions will rely on stronger evidence rather than automatic matches. Second, public trust will increase because surveillance will become more transparent and accountable. Third, governments can focus research proven public safety methods instead of relying too heavily on technology that still has significant limitations. Protecting privacy and protect public safety are not opposing goals. In reality, one strengthens the others. As I conclude, let me return the question as begin. Imagine walking down that same street again. If your face will be scanned again, maybe it will not, because the face is yours and not others. Thank you.